I want to quickly get started with talking about my man Draymond Green of the Golden State Warriors. A few days ago, Draymond went on Shaq's podcast talking about media critics and specifically pointed the finger at me. He essentially accused me of not defending him and going with the public narrative about him following his last suspension back in December after he was suspended indefinitely for smacking Yusuf Nurkic, if you may recall. Smacked him upside the head in December. That led to an indefinite suspension around December 12th. He was allowed back into the league and to play for the Golden State Warriors around January 6th. But before I get into anything that I have to say, let me show you what he said on Shaq's podcast first.
Stephen A. Smith really pissed me off. And the reason he pissed me off was because he hit me. He's like, yo, it's been hard for a lot of us to talk about you these last few days. And, for me, I'm like, okay, it's been hard for me to watch, but I'm watching it because I want to see everything that everybody has to say. I know you got a job to do. I know you got to do your thing and say what you got to say, but at not one point did you say, well, y'all are saying this person is up and this person need help. Now, I know the person. Say what you want about the basketball player, that's fine. But I know the person. And by the way, it just wasn't him. To sit back and see those that claim to know and appreciate me as a human being just flow with the narrative because it was easy to do, I lost a lot of respect for a lot of people.
As I articulated yesterday over the national airwaves, along with appearing on the flagship station for the Golden State Warriors in the Bay Area, Draymond Green isn't the only one that lost respect for people. I've lost respect for him. And that don't mean I don't have love for the brother. It doesn't mean that I still don't profoundly respect the brother and the man that he is. But I don't appreciate selective amnesia. Now, I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of details about everything because I already did that, although I didn't do it on this podcast. Boy, is he lucky I didn't have a podcast yesterday, because obviously I'm going to say stuff here that I wouldn't say over FCC airwaves in most instances. But I'm glad I had a little bit extra time to reflect and to think about what else I wanted to say, because I really don't have much more to say other than what I've said already. I thought that Draymond Green's assertions to Shaquille O'Neal were utter bullshit. I thought that it was unbecoming of him, and my disappointment with him, I don't even know if it has any layers or any boundaries at now, because I can't believe the bullshit that he spewed out of his mouth. For the record, whatever narrative he's talking about obviously entailed people saying that Draymond Green was a problem, that Draymond Green needed help. If you will recall, a month earlier, he had choked Rudy Gobert. And when he slapped Nurkic, Nurkic went and talked about that guy needs help. If you recall, Kevin Durant came out, star for the Phoenix Suns, former two-time champion with Draymond Green and the Golden State Warriors. His former teammate, Draymond Green, came out and said, yo, I hope the brother gets the help he needs. And there was an individual screaming over the national airwaves saying, I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. First of all, that's a brother. Secondly, that's a black man. And we know when you talk about anger management and help and things of that nature, that connotates something far more serious than that needs to be. I know Draymond is a good brother. I know Draymond is a good man. I know Draymond is a loving father and a loving husband. I know this brother and have come to know this brother over the years to know what a good man he is, which are things that I've articulated repeatedly. And so the one instance where you're watching television and I might not have screamed to the high heavens while other people were laying into you because they were entitled to their opinions, that it negates all the months and years I've come to your defense. Recall, Draymond Green's been ejected from games 20 different times in his career. No one other than Rasheed Wallace, who had 29 ejections, eclipses him. No one has been ejected from more games than Draymond Green in NBA history. Draymond Green, over a 9-month period, had been suspended 4 times. And still, I defended him. Ask Joe Lacob for the Golden State Warriors. Ask Steve Kerr, the coach for the Golden State Warriors. Ask Bob Myers, the former president of basketball operations, GM for the Golden State Warriors, who's my colleague on NBA Countdown now. They would accuse me damn near of compromising my integrity because of how often I came to the defense of Draymond Green. Yet somehow, some way, while you sitting on a couch chilling with Shaq, my name would come out your mouth. And you would say some ridiculous nonsense like that. Never mind the fact that I had no knowledge. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not see that video of him talking to Shaq until yesterday morning. I had no idea. All of these months that have gone by, when I didn't speak to Draymond Green, I wasn't bothering him. He's a professional basketball player going through the regular season and then the playoffs. Why am I bothering you for? I didn't bother this man. I had no idea that he felt this way. I was given no clue whatsoever. And that is what really has me feeling rubbed the wrong way. If you have a problem, you know my number. You know how to holler at me. If I sat up there and talked with Draymond Green and then all of a sudden stopped speaking with Draymond Green and Draymond Green never knew, and then I go on a publication or a podcast or a broadcast and I talk about him and say stuff that he had no clue about, considering the relationship we had, you would think he would have called me and said, yo, this is my problem with you. That's what men do, and Draymond Green prides himself in being a man. But that wasn't accorded to me. I had no clue. I had no idea. So it is what it is. But I bring that up because I got something important that I want to say. I'm sick of some of these dudes. And I'm not going to mention any names. But I've about had it up to here with people smiling in my face. And I'm not talking about Draymond here because he clearly did not smile in my face and talk behind my back. I hadn't seen him or heard from him. And I wasn't looking for him, so I didn't know anything that was going on. But I've been through a lot over the last month or so. You know, the whole thing with people misconstruing my comments about, Trump and the black community when I was only talking about black Trump supporters and what they say to him. I wasn't talking about black people. I certainly wasn't connecting Trump and the criminal accusations against him with that of black people in a criminal element. I'm a proud black man. I would never do that to my community. And you do what you want to do, I damn sure ain't voting for him. Because I think that you know where I stand with Trump. I think the presidency is a statesmanship position and it's about bringing people together, not about being divisive. And I think he's divisive. But in the aftermath of all of that, I got people from all over the place coming at me. I had friends that I've known for years, letting people come on their platform and talk about me and call me everything but a child of God for 3 hours. I got colleagues that smiled in my face and went behind my back to the bosses talking shit. When you've been around for as long as I've been around, let me say something to all of you out there. Let me say something to my employees. Let me say something to my colleagues. Let me say something to my contemporaries. Let me say something to anybody. When you've been around in this business for 30 years like I have, you find out everything. It might be in an hour. It might be in a day. It might be in a week. It might be in a month. It might be a few months from now. It might be a year from now. But you always find out. I'm that connected. There's not much that people are going to say about me or try to do towards me that I'm not going to find out about. And when I tell you the hypocritical bastards and sons of bitches that have tried to hurt me, I don't even know what to say. Now, I'm a Christian man and I'm a God-fearing individual. So I'm not going to sweat it too much. But what I want to say is it was disappointing that Draymond went the route of talking to Shaq and revealing to a public audience something I never knew. He was wrong in what he said because I did not go along with the narrative. I've been defending Draymond Green's character for years. If anything, he owes people like me an apology for doing so because of the continuous predicaments he found himself in where we'd have to defend him because of the ammunition he provided to others to come at him. But it wasn't me. Wasn't me. So maybe we'll talk again, maybe we won't. But either way, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Nor am I going to lose sleep over friends who've proven themselves to be otherwise. Nor am I going to lose sleep over professionals that don't want to talk to me. I got love for anybody who got love for me. For those who don't, it was nice knowing you. Let me be very clear about that. It's like that for me. It's like that.